Food. What is food? Food is any substance that can be metabolized by the body to give energy and build tissues. Why do we need food? We need food to maintain healthy body and for its growth. Therefore, the food should be what the body needs, and what the body needs depend on the what is the constituent of the body, that is what the body is made up of. So let's see what the body is made up of. On average, 60% of body by weight is water. So oxygen and hydrogen, they are the major component. Apart from that, so many other elements are also present, that is oxygen, phosphorus, carbon, potassium, hydrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, chlorine, calcium and sodium. But most of the constituent, majority of the percentage is made by CH and O. Now, how these elements are present? These elements will be present in their corresponding ions, in form of their corresponding ions. Like chlorine will be present in form of chloride ion, iodine will be present as iodide ion, potassium and sodium as their corresponding sodium potassium ions, and calcium as a calcium ion. Now, these are present at the certain body parts also, like phosphorus is present as phosphate ion, calcium phosphate is present as calcium as a present in the calcium ion, and phosphate is also there, that is present in the combination, and these are present in teeth and bones. Selenium is also present. Manganese, molybdenum, they are also present as a metalloenzyme. Now, therefore, the food must consist essential nutrients. So, what are the nutrients that make the food? So, the nutrients which are important in the food, that are carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, and yes, roughage is also very important. Now, nutrients have been categorized into macronutrient and micronutrient. Macronutrient, these are required in the large amount, like potassium, carbohydrate, proteins and fat. So, carbohydrate, proteins and fats, these are the macronutrients. Apart from the macronutrient, we need certain nutrients which will be required in the small amount. They are called as micronutrient, like other iron, cobalt, chromium, copper, iodine, all these will be required. Vitamins, so they will be important for our health conditions. Now, classification of the food. Food has been classified on very basis. So many bases were given on which the classification of the food was done, like on the basis of its origin, on the basis of its chemical composition, on the basis of its function. So let's see it in the detail. So on the basis of origin, food will be of animal origin, it could be of vegetable origin. Now on the basis of its chemical composition, it could be protein, fat, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals. Then predominant function, whether the function is bodybuilding, whether it is energy giving, or whether it is protective food. Now carbohydrates, firstly we will see the carbohydrates. So it is divided into monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide and oligosaccharide. Now so many fibers are also present, like dextrin, plant fiber, beta glucan, starch, cellulose. These all are polysaccharide and they are part of carbohydrates. Now when we define the simple carbohydrate and the complex carbohydrate, so simple carbohydrate like our white sugar, okay, that is glucose, fructose. So these are the simple carbs. But if you see this complex carbohydrate, that will be present in the white bread, cereals, corns, oats, rice and peas. But more the complex, more the better as a nutrient the carbohydrates are, because they will promote the bowel regulation and they will help to control the cholesterol also. If the fiber is present, so that will also help to control the cholesterol. So the complex carbohydrates, they are key to long-term health, because they are easier to maintain the weight and they are source of dietary fibers also. Now sugar beats stress. It was one of the studies that was done, like sugar beats stress better than the sweetener. Okay, so that was also on the basis of MRI scan, this work was done. Now if you see the metabolism of glucose, So glucose which is there in the body will be anaerobically, it will be converted into lactic acid, ATP and water, and aerobic condition may it will be break down into the pyruvic acid, CO2, water and ATP. When it is not required, it will again convert it into the branched polymer, that is glycogen. So the short term storage in the liver, that will be in the form of glycogen of the carbohydrates. So this is the storage of carbohydrate in liver in form of glycogen. Now coming to fats and oil. After carbohydrates, we will see what are the fats and oil. They are very important. They will main function of the fats or the oils are the protection. To give the protection, they include the insulation, they will control the body temperature, cushion and protect the body organs. Okay, so they are very important and they play a very important role in the digestion of certain vitamins like A, D, E, K. They are the fat soluble vitamin, means fat is required to absorb these vitamins in the body. So, and moreover, we all know that fat is the most concentrated source of energy. Now, these are the certain example of the common fatty acids which are present in our food like palmitic, stearic, oleic, linolenic, oleic, arachidonic. So, all these things are like we all have heard the name omega 3, omega 6, omega 9. So, all these are present here. Now, apart from these, there are certain other fats, that is the phospholipids and sterols. These are also present in our body. So, if you see the examples like how much monosaturated, unsaturated and saturated fat is present in our food, this is the percentage which you can see here, that is corn oil, margarine, canola, olive, peanut, safflower, sesame, sunflower. So, here you can see in the olive oil maximum percentage of monosaturated fat is there, okay, and it is minimum in the here corn oil. Okay, so this way we can discover or define our health benefit that which we need to take. Now, if you see the condition like virgin coconut oil is good for both health and wealth. Why we say this? Because virgin coconut oil contain the lauric acid, caprylic acid and capric acid. Because of the presence of these acids only this coconut oil that will be very important for our health. It's a medium chain fatty acid and it also convert into monolaurin in the body, and this again has antiviral, antibacterial, antiprotozoal monoglyceride activity. So this enter directly into the liver and generate energy. Okay, that is why it is very important and it is very helpful for the health. It reduces the heart and brain degenerative diseases, control the diabetes and increase the immunity. So a liter of virgin coconut oil, now when we see that how much is required, how much coconut is required for 1 liter of coconut oil. So it was around for 1 liter extraction of the coconut oil, we need 30 mature coconuts. Now there is one term nowadays that is called as trans fat. Trans fat are very harmful for the health because they are associated with the increased risk of heart diseases and diabetes, and these are produced, they are present mainly in the packed biscuits, sweets and this frozen items. So all these things they are present, trans fats. So industrial trans fatty acids or the TFA, they are produced during the partial hydrogenation when liquid vegetable oil turn solid at room temperature. Okay, so hydrogenated oil called Vanaspati in India, it is used as a cheap alternative to ghee in industrial production of sweet bakery items, biscuits and food. Traces of trans fats are also present in milk and meat. Okay, so and one more thing is there, that why it is not recommended to go for the repeated heating of the oil, because like cooking oil, if you go for the repeated heating, trans fat formation will be there. So that is why it is not recommended to heat again and again the cooking oil. So this is the figure. Here you can see how the fat metabolism takes place. Now coming to proteins, so third most important nutrient that is present in our food is protein. Proteins are the large molecule of amino acid joined together with the peptide linkage, and on the basis of this structure they can be primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Now protein play a very crucial role in the body, such as bodybuilding, maintenance and repairing. The diverse role of the proteins include like enzymes they are present, hormones, regulator, molecular transports, antibodies, all these things. All enzymes and hormones which perform the vital functions are protein. Okay, so in addition, proteins are used in aid to aid in the immune processes. So these are very important features or very important functions or very important roles which are taken up by the protein in our body. If you consider the energy density of the food, when you say that the food is of low energy density, and if it is full with the calories, if it is full, like here you can see with this figure, and you can see that what is the low energy and what is the high energy food. But it is harmful to health. Okay. Now coming to the macronutrient as the energy source, it is recommended that the 55% of energy must come from the carbohydrate, about 30% from the fat, and 15% from the protein. So why it is written like all these nutrients we are taking to get the energy. Now how much energy we are getting from these nutrients? So from carbohydrate we are getting 50 to 55%, from fat we are getting 30%, and from protein we are getting 15% of the energy. So how much requirement? So carbohydrate 4 calories per gram we can get. Proteins give 4 calorie per gram. Fat will give, because it is the storehouse of energy, you can see so it will give 9 calories per gram. Now if you see the micronutrient, so these are the micronutrient because body need only very small quantity for the survival. So they are necessary for the healthy functioning of the body system, for bone growth, for brain function, for many enzymatic activity, they will act as a cofactor. So minerals and vitamins, they will form the micronutrient. Okay. Like vitamins, if you see the vitamins, one of the first discoveries of the importance of the vitamin came under 1700 it was discovered. So vitamin do not supply energy, but vitamin function as a coenzyme in the release of energy from the carbohydrate, protein and fat. So they are very important, and deficiency of these vitamins will lead to so many diseases. Now we will see in details about the vitamins. There are 2 types of vitamins: fat soluble vitamin, water soluble vitamin. Fat soluble vitamin, 4 types of fat soluble vitamins are there: A, D, E and K. Water soluble vitamins, there are many types of 9 water soluble vitamin, B, 8 of B and 1 is C. Now they are found in so many different characteristics. They can be stored, they cannot be stored. Because they can store, they are not required regularly, weekly, monthly, because they can be stored, but they are not stored. So regular requirement is they should be there. Their deficiency is low to develop because they are stored, but they can be here deficiency is fast to develop because they are not stored. Now vitamin A, it is also called as retinol. Its precursor is beta carotene and retinal ester. Now the sources are many plants and meat. Use is the vision regulatory gene transcription. Now hypervitaminosis of vitamin A, that has shown the problem like hypertrophy and loss of appetite, bone growth and so many other conditions in animal. Secondly, B1. B1 is thiamine, that is the cofactor for many enzymes, and the hypervitaminosis of B1 shows blocking of nerve transmission, restlessness and convulsions. Now coming to vitamin B2, that is also called as riboflavin. It is a precursor for flavin adenine dinucleotide. So it is a precursor for FMN and FAD, and that is a cofactor and very important in the TCS cycle. And FMN is an electron carrier in the ETC, that is electron transport chain. So these are very important, and its hypervitaminosis result in the bright yellow urine, numbness, burning sensation. Now here next vitamin is vitamin B3, that is nicotinic acid. It's a precursor for NAD. Now it's also known as niacin. It is needed for glycolysis. It gets oxidized in ETC. Hypervitaminosis result in peptic ulcer, liver damage, skin rashes. Now B5 is also known as pantothenic acid, and it is also required for making coenzyme A. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine. Pyridoxine is precursor for pyridoxal sulfate. It's covalently linked cofactor for transaminase, decarboxylase and glycogen pyrophosphorylase, that is PLP dependent enzymes. So the hypervitaminosis of vitamin B6 result in nerve damage in the limbs, reduced sensation to touch and temperature. Now vitamin B7, biotin, it is converted to activated biotin when it is used for the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A for application in fatty acid synthesis and other functions. This is also called as vitamin H. Then B9, folic acid, these are also very much required. Vitamin B12, we all know cobalamin, it is very important. Now coming to vitamin C, after vitamin B complex we are now on the vitamin C, that is also called as ascorbic acid. These are required for collagen synthesis. They are important cofactor for several enzymes. They scavenges oxygen radicals. Now hypervitaminosis of vitamin C, they may acidify urea, they cause nausea, they cause diarrhea, they promote iron overload in the patient with the thalassemia. Now vitamin D, this refers to a group of similar lipid soluble molecule. Major forms are D2, D3, apart from D1, D4 and D5, but D2, D3 are very important, and D3 can be obtained in the diet and derived from cholesterol. D is not active itself, it is modified to yield biologically active forms such as calcitriol. Now deficiency of this vitamin D cause the bone loss or the rickets, but higher vitaminosis of vitamin D cause the calcium and phosphorus in the blood, arteries and organ. Vitamin A and D also aid parathyroid hormone in bone demineralization. Now vitamin E, it collectively refers to the mixture of 8 compound. It is very essential. Vitamin K, that is phylloquinone, and it is also very important, and it causes the hypervitaminosis of vitamin K, cause the excess clotting of the blood leading to the thrombosis. Now coming to the micronutrient, these are minerals. Minerals are macro or the trace nutrient. We have defined it into the two categories, like when the requirement is more than 100 gram daily requirement, then it is the macro, and if it is less than 100 microgram, then it is micro, trace elements. So these are the examples. Now coming to the elements in the body, like you can see that calcium is present in the bone and teeth, chlorine in all cells in the stomach, cobalt, vitamin B12, copper in many enzymes, iodine in thyroid, iron in hemoglobin. So all these things are there. Now here in this chart table we can see the elements which are present in the different body parts or the places where these elements are present. Now vitamin and mineral supplements. So these are very important. They are not usually necessary if your diet is nutritious and well balanced, but it is not every time beneficial. These could be harmful also. If there is no problem in the body, no deficiency is there and your diet is good, then it is not required at all. But if any problem is there, any shortage of the vitamin is there because of the shortage of the vitamin, because of the deficiency of the vitamin, any problem is taking place, so these vitamins should be taken and as a supplement, because we should not take it abruptly, because the excess or the overdose of this vitamin or mineral may damage to your health also. So these could be taken only on the advice of the doctor. Now water is also coming to the, like we are dealing with all the parts of our food. So the water is very important and essential nutrient, and it is the major component of cell and body, because we know that the body is 60 to 70% or more than that. Main role is to appropriate water balance to support the vital function. Now if you see this is the this data is showing about the input and output to justify the water balance. Now coming to there is nowadays one more point is there, like which water should be consumable. RO, what is the role of RO filters which are at everybody's house, which we are having, like how it is helpful and how it is harmful. So RO water is very good because it is going to filter the water, and the contaminants where the size is more than water molecule, only those contaminants will be filtered out. Smaller size will remain in the drinking water, but then also it can remove many hazardous supplements or the elements also from the water, like arsenic, nitrate, sodium, copper, lead, lead, and some organic chemicals from them, and also the municipal additive fluoride. Okay. So unhealthy contaminants will come out. So now there are certain disadvantages also, because the water is demineralized. Okay, so that will also one of the harm, because this demineralized water, that will leave the water tasteless also. This water is usually acidic. okay, because of the RO filter. Now it is one more thing is there, that according to WHO, low mineral water increased diuresis 20% on average and markedly increase the elimination of the sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium ion from the body. So this RO, when we are setting for the TDS, that should be of the considerable amount. We should not lower much for the very less mineral content. Okay. And one more disadvantage is some critical contaminant like volatile organic acid, they are not able to remove through the process of this reverse osmosis. So that is one of the disadvantage. So after dealing with all the macronutrient, micronutrient, water, everything, now what we have to take, we should eat the balanced diet. So our diet contain all the food types in the right amount to stay healthy. Now suggested distribution should be carbohydrate 50 to 55%, protein 20 to 25%, and fats also 30%. So all these things should be preferably of different varieties. Now veggies, whole grain fruits, they are the main source of antioxidant which work better when they come from the food. Colored food also should be encouraged in the presence of white food, because that colored food nowadays we know that it is a good antioxidant activity. So they are very much essential. And yes, avoid packaged food as far as possible to avoid the consumption of trans food, trans fat. Okay. So this way we can see that all these things are very much required to get the proper nutrition and to make our body healthy. Thank you.